This is Top Shop Podcast.
Shop Podcast.
Top Shop Podcast.
Podcast for automotive service business owners by Paul Donahue.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Top Shop Podcast. We got Bauer Husseino, and he is with Verified. Verified is it's a new DVI product that him and his partner have put out. It's available on the App Store and it's available on the Play Store. We've never had anybody on the podcast that specializes in DVIs, and it's such an important part of the auto repair industry now. You know, the shops that are keeping up with the technology. So in the past, customers had to come to the shop and they had to get diagnosed and then they had to get called. Now we can just shoot video, we send them a text, they look at the video, they look at the estimate, they can sign it, they can pay for it, and come to the shop and pick it up. So it's a fantastic technology, and the shops that are utilizing it are obviously the ones that are going to see the growth, and because they're staying on top of what's going on. So now it's Verified, but it's with two R's, right? It's VERRIED.ai. So that's the website. There's two R's in there. So VERRIED.ai. That's the website to go to. The app, the product that they have, is available on both Google and the App Store and the Google Play Store. So it's available on either one. So Bauer, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started, and what gave you the idea to get into this particular niche in this industry.
Oh yeah, thanks, Paul, for the chance to speak. I'm originally from Kazakhstan. I've been in the United States since 2000. Finished college here, and my first job out of college was Boeing. I was an industrial engineer for Boeing for about 5 years. Worked on the 787 program there and the 777X. Really enjoyed the manufacturing process. Anything that's related to planes, trains, automobiles just very excited me since I was young. Eventually I went into IT. I went to cloud computing. So I was helping Amazon and Microsoft. I was helping to scale data centers, deploying data centers around COVID time, especially when everything went online and Zoom, what we're doing. So we just had to scale that network for the Amazon AWS. And ever since that, I went into Google, and just being in the IT industry with the AI boom, I was actually lucky to work on the Gen AI project. Was for image generation for Google, and that was a successful launch. And then, as you noticed and everyone noticed, the IT industry with layoffs went down. So I started sort of working, securing my own business, and I was thinking, okay, what do I do? I love cars. I like the automotive industry, and so I've and IT. So I kind of put it all together, and I have a team in Kazakhstan. So that's how I met. I reached out to friends back home in Kazakhstan, and actually they were saying, well, we have an interesting challenge in the market right now, and Toyota approached my friends in Kazakhstan's IT shop, and they said, hey, we want to do this app for our mechanics to kind of scan the video of the car. So because right now there's a lot of mistrust with customers, and so we want to make sure if they get the video, they can go get a third party analysis if they want to. Is it something that would like to do? So I worked with my team, and I said, hey, let's put a product backlog. Let's understand the features and the problem that Toyota is looking for. And so we prototyped the solution for them. And at first it was on tablets because they had their own tablets. So we just kind of had a Android solution on tablets for the Toyota shop for them. So they used that for 6 months. They really liked it. And then they said, well, not everybody wants to carry this giant tablets mechanics. Everyone has their own phone. Can you do this on the iPhone, on the App Store or Google Store? We're like, yeah, sure. Let's do that. So we launched it in the App Store and Google Store. And then the idea came after, having the Toyota pilot for 1 year. We've had them successfully, and they had really good numbers. They were happy with the upsales, with the customer return numbers. I can share the statistics as well that the Toyota provided. So they were really happy because they were no longer debating about hey, is this true or not? The actual customers, now they're focusing on the problem instead of debating whether this problem actually exists or not. Yeah. So that eliminated a whole different thing for them, and they were really happy. And for 1 year, they've used it. 6 months, they used it on tablets. 6 months, they were in the app stores. And so that was very successful. And then we decided, okay, how about we go, because the same problem exists in the American market. And now if Toyota in Kazakhstan was very happy using it, let's try to work here in the United States. And so United States, I noticed that dealers and OEMs, they have their own partners and solutions. And we decided to focus on our target audience as mom and pop shops. Is like Schmidt Automotive is a mechanic here, independent mechanic for Mercedes. His father and son, they have a big shop here. All the older Mercedes customers go to them because they have the skills and tribal knowledge that the dealership doesn't have anymore, because the dealership's all focused on the newer stuff now. So shops like that are our customer base. Some mom and pop shops with independent mechanics, maybe under 10 employees, where we're out of the box and we're cheap cost solution for them. They don't have to call customer service and set anything up. Everything's just plug and play, and at a very, very affordable price. We're coming in, really cheaper compared to what the competition is pricing this tool for.
Yeah. What feedback did you receive from Toyota, and how did their experience validate the value of verified AI, and for in the broader auto repair industry? So
Yeah, great question. So Toyota shared some stats. I got their email here.
sure.
They shared that they've had, it's in Russian, so I'm translating into the English. But so the clients' retention rate increased by 20%. Also, they were able to increase average bill by 15% to optimize and upsell that they were able to provide with video diagnosis that they couldn't have done before. And then another thing they focused on is big conversation shifts from debating to actually problem solving and solutionizing what the actual issue is.
Mhm.
So focusing on that, as well as other areas of potential upsells that customers can see around the area that Toyota is able to grab and an upsell on that, because it's an actual video diagnostics, it's video evidence there. Yeah, so we got very positive numbers and feedback from them, and especially now that they've shifted to using their phones and mechanics can just download the app, and they don't need to carry this tablet. It's another thing that eliminated and made things simpler. Also, we are plug and play solutions, so we're not working with any specific. We're agnostic of any shopware tool, so we're not affecting the existing process for mechanics. We're just plug and play into the existing process, and our app just basically works with them, and we can also integrate with shopware if needed, on more of a customized based. But out of the box, we're just plug and play on top of any processes.
Okay, so right now you don't integrate with any of the shop self-management software programs. It's a standalone product, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Right. The public often distrusts shops. Actually, that's changing. The public more distrusts dealerships than they do shops. There is this change that's going on. But what do you see as the root causes of the distrust? And does DVIs and verified AI, directly address those concerns?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's just an ancient, old problem, old times problem. The distrust comes from the information asymmetry, where customers can't see under the hood. They rely entirely on what they're told by mechanic or expertise. And so this gap, this is what creates suspicion. And when shops are honest, it's great. Customers are happy. But a lot of the times, and especially like you mentioned, big dealers, customers just don't trust that. And so by letting the customer see the actual video evidence, I think that eliminates a lot of the mystery that's out there, and transparency replaces suspicion with confidence. And that's how trust is rebuilt.
Hmm. Okay.
So I think that's why the DVIs are going to be very important going forward, and I think there's going to be a convergence in the future, DVI and potential remote diagnostics. It's all in the books for us as well, because we're all focused on the AI. As you noticed, that we have an AI in our name, and so part of it is that we're collecting data from the internet, from all the frameworks and all the data that all the data that is supposed to be recorded, that would be analyzed for AI, and eventually it's going to help diagnose and self-guide, and hopefully work with mechanic as a one tool, so basically to eliminate the time for mechanic, or of figuring out what the problem is, and mostly focusing on the actual figuring out the solution for the problem.
Okay.
So the AI is helping to bridge that gap.
Awesome. Your app provides video diagnostics. How does increasing transparency between the mechanics and the customers reshape the relationship and build longer term trust? I mean, that's besides just helping with the sale, we really want to focus on being able to build long term customers that'll come back to our clients' shops again and again and again. So, so, so how is this increasing transparency with the DVIs doing that?
Oh yeah, it changes the dynamic completely. Now instead of the customer thinking, "Hey, are they upselling me?" They think, "Wow, they're showing me exactly what's wrong," and that shifts to building loyalty. So people they're becoming to build the trust in the shop, and they come back and they approve the recommended work because if even if they have a chance, they can go and you go to a third party or another person and say, "Hey, look, there's a problem. Is that accurate?" So they have that option as well. So that transparency is just it's good for business, and it creates exactly what the verified AI delivers on the ground for the customers by giving them this video evidence. And yeah, and with that, it builds loyalty and trust instead of questions and doubt.
I met you at an AmeriMat conference. So, motors.org, you discovered them. How does that align with, how did the missions align?
Oh, yeah, this is a great question. So, Motor.org has been a leader in pushing the uniform inspection communication standards, and their whole mission statement is to also bridge the gap between the mechanics and the public, which really resonates with us. And this mission is to protect drivers and elevate transparency. So that's why I think we're perfectly aligned with that mission of Verified, because we deliver on the ground in shops by aligning with those uniform communication standards in real life. So we're trying to, with the permission of the organization, to implement the framework in our app. So that will be also basically it will be part of the core of the app to have those uniform communication standards in there.
That's awesome. So, so yeah, Verified AI and Motors.org, you guys share the vision of raising industry standards and protecting motors. So, and by the way, any shop owner here that's not familiar with AMRA, Automotive Maintenance Repair Association, they're the ones that produce MAP. Motors.org is that website, and that's the Motorist Assurance Program. So, by becoming a member, I think it's $199 a year. You can be a motorist assurance shop in your market. And what that does is it helps you with your sales through third party, just the way the DVI does. So the DVI shows them actual evidence. They're not just hearing it from, so hey, needs to be replaced. They can see it. Well, it's the same thing with MAP. It's not you telling the customer that this part needs to be replaced or this fluid needs to be replaced. It's the motorist assurance program, because they've been setting the standards for over 25 years on parts and fluid and different replacements. So it's third party. Anyway, we have a guest on Shop Podcast. Any of you that go to the trade shows, you're familiar with our SEO Superdog Sky. So all 3 pounds and 3 ounces of her.
Oh yeah, had a pleasure of meeting Sky last in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah. So from the perspective of a repair shop owner, which is, who a Top Shop podcast we want to get to, how does Verified AI not only increase transparency, but also create new opportunities for upselling and customer retention? You had mentioned that Toyota had a 15% increase in upsells.
Mhm.
So for a large company, 15% is a lot. So, how does Verified AI, like I said, not only increase your transparency, but create new opportunities for upselling and
Well,
customer retention?
got it. Yeah. And so from the feedback from all the test customers that we've been using, like the Schmidt Automotive and in Seattle, it's another tester customer right now, and their feedback is they love it because it upsells them with honesty and ease. And like Schmidt mentioned, they don't have $300-400 to pay for the CDK or this big dealer software solutions that's available. They don't have time to call the customer support and integrate with their systems. So they like the where they just download the out of the store, they just download on their phone, and mechanic records. He saves time of actually speaking because our AI converts text to speech and only leaves the relevant parts that's related to the automotive repair problem. So it leaves out all the just blank words that are not relevant to the text. So that helps them significantly because now they don't have to type the problem. They just go make this one video, speak to it, and then they send the video to customer. Customer sees that all the text becomes a statement of work that's easily to money, that they can just copy paste later on. And but the whole thing, they don't need to type that. So they love that, and they love it that it's cheap, and they love it that it's out of the box. They don't have to wait for customer service to come and set it up for them. So from that, they're really excited about the product, and we're working with them to make it more refined for them. So like they're implementing any feedback that they give us right now. We're just basically making it really perfect.
Okay. So you had mentioned this is a less expensive alternative than a lot of other ones out there. Do you mind letting us know what it runs per month?
Yeah, so we're just setting up. I think the golden price we're giving a 30 days free trial from the App Store, and after that, it's going to be $75 a month for
75 a month. Okay.
$75 a month. This
Because
is our price.
I'm taking on a client that we don't normally take on. His gross revenues aren't at that level that we normally take on an auto repair shop at, but he's pretty sharp, and they're already investing in a lot of foo-foo stuff that wasn't getting him anything. So we're working on this client's website. This would be a great product for him. After the podcast here, the next time I talk to him, I'll ask him because this would be great, something that he could afford now. That's going to help him increase his sales and his customer retention, which is what we need because we need to get him up to this certain dollar amount in revenue, so he can really invest in his marketing and move forward. So there are many software tools out there. So what makes Verified different, or so should I say, disruptive? And how is your out of the box, plug and play software agnostic approach different from traditional solutions? Because you got some big players in this DVI game. Auto Vitals, Auto Vitals and Bolt On. Those are just a couple I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, good point. There's few players out there. Also, I've noticed I've been just doing market research. There's a lot of some of the bigger companies own some of the companies in there,
Right.
so it's like it seems like you have a choice, but really it's one or two owners there. And what I've noticed in the feedback, a lot of those solutions right now that exist in the market are bulky. You cannot just install and get a free demo if you want it. You always have to contact customer service. Somebody has to come and install it for you. And as well as like you just have to sign a bunch of contracts with credit cards numbers, a lot of complications just to even get the program to try it out.
Okay.
And as well as some of them dictate their shopware tool system. So let's say you're using some other shop management system, a potential tool may require you to switch. So that will be another complications. So we're basically the opposite. So we're not expensive. We're not as complex. We're not tied to specific system. We're agnostic to any of the processes. So we're lightweight, plug and play, out of the box. So literally, mechanic can just go on the App Store, download it, and have it on his personal phone. A shop can download the app today, and they just start recording right away. Video is AWS local service, so quality of the upload and video processing is very fast, and there's not long training, no IT headaches. It's just very easy. We try to make it as simple as possible.
Okay, and then and what number are they email or texting the customer at? What number do
Um,
they use? They don't want to use their personal mobile phone number, right? So what phone number do they use to send the text?
Oh, correct. Just the app sends it. It's not so when the mechanic sends it, the video diagnostics from the app, he sends the send button. It's not using his phone number. It's using
Oh,
the app cloud. So the customer sees the input, the
okay.
verified logo and the
So
video there, and
nothing
the
separate,
problem statement.
nothing separate for the shop owners set up. Just download it,
Exactly.
plug and play, like you said.
Exactly. Yep.
No
hmm
contracts, just try it. Yeah. Okay. All
Exactly.
right.
Yeah, and that's what makes it easy, and that's why we're trying to take the market this way by making it very, very simple.
Okay. So you said your vision was a low cost plug and play solution, and I believe you've obviously created that. But why did you think it was so important for that for the smaller independent shops?
Yeah, good question. I think because trust isn't a problem just for big dealers, it's a universal problem. And mom and pop shops on the corner face the same suspicion as the large service centers, but often they can't afford the expensive tech. So we wanted verified AI to democratize that, to come up with the low monthly start, so it would be accessible to any mom and pop shops. So that's what we're aiming to provide that service for them, so they can compete with the big dealers.
So the auto repair industry is changing rapidly. AI is changing our planet rapidly. So just personally, this is a question I would like to toss in. Where do you think the market's going? There was the big push for the battery, but I don't really think that's where we're going to go, unless they come up with some major improvement in battery performance and then the ecological disaster that these cars create by mining the minerals and that we need to create these batteries. There's hybrid, which seems to be, we can get a lot more miles out of a gallon of gas by utilizing hybrid, but then now we got two systems in a car. We've got, the engine and all the internal combustion on top of all the electronic. And then we've got, hopefully, what my dream is hydrogen. We're able to finally harness hydrogen and transport and move it, because we've got the infrastructure all set up. You got gas stations all over the United States of America. You switch from liquid fuel to hydrogen. We just got to figure out how to transport it, store it, and put it into cars without blowing people up
Mhm.
or accidents. You have car accidents. You got to make sure that the hydrogen's not going to blow up. I like asking everybody, what is your opinion on which way we're going to go? When the dust settles, where are we going to be? What's your guess?
Well, very good question. Very good question. And actually, speaking of hydrogenation, I was just reading some news. So, again, in Kazakhstan, Soviet Union, and Europe, because gasoline is so expensive, people have converted to LPG, natural gas. Let's say you have a big V8 Land Cruiser, they put an LPG tank in your car and they convert the engine so you would be able to use the LPG to power instead of using the gasoline. So one of the things I noticed, some of the Chinese manufacturers are coming out with the hybrid gasoline with the LPG tank in there for those markets.
Right.
Yep. Things I never thought, and that's where the idea of hydrogen came. And I know Toyota's was pushing big efforts in California. They were unfortunately, California seems like was the only market for them. But I think in overall electrifications in EV adoption is going to be some sort of hybrid solution depending on the market, because especially our country is so big and vast. There's not going to be a single solution for everything. Like different regions, it could be like Seattle, urban region, and EVs would make sense in deliveries, Amazon EV vans. That's perfect last mile sort of delivery. And I think they'll have their own use cases. Hybrids that are plug-in hybrids, for people who are going on road trips, they don't want to be stuck and rely on the charging network. Well, you have the option to just use the gasoline to get to your destination, and once you get to city, you charge up over hotel. So I think it's going to be a sort of hybridization depending on each market, and that will make sense for it to be in that. For example, in Midwest, in the South, where the trucks are prevalent, and there's not a lot of charging infrastructure, you probably would have more trucks because Dodge is coming back, V8s are making it back. Manufacturers are realizing we can't just get away and not give customers options. And I think in the future we'll have options.
Okay, awesome. For shop owners, techs, and anybody else that may be listening, what's the one thing that you'd like them to understand about your company, about Verified AI, and why should they pay attention now?
Very good question. Well, we think that auto repair has been done for decades in the same way, and we're trying to set up a gold seal honesty standard. For example, just like restaurants have grades, we want to have the Verified AI with the becoming like a seal of honesty in auto repair. So if the auto repair uses the logo, the verified, the shop's been verified, and customers know that they're not just promises; it's an actual framework behind the repairs and recommendation that the shop provides to the customer. So that would set the industry gold bar and create the standard in the industry. And that's what we want. We want that standard. We want that gold seal of approval.
Wow.
Map and verified.
Wow, that's a pretty high, lofty goal. So to keep working towards it, yeah, I'd love to see the same thing. So see your logo. People trust. When we create websites, I want to know, are they a Carfax approved shop? Do they have ASE certified technicians? We put all of their Google reviews, Facebook, Carfax reviews right in the header image of their website, so that social proof is there the instant it loads and provides that subconscious message to the potential customer. So coming up with another AAA approved. A lot of people, even though they're a dinosaur, but that's a great goal. So to have that logo recognized across the United States by the consumer, if they go to this shop, they know that they can trust the shop because they're going to receive video and pictorial proof of the services that need to be done by the auto repair shop owner. They're not just going to say, "Hey, this needs to be done. You should fix it." And we live in a video world now, to tell you the truth. So I'd like to add this. We're focusing on, when we create websites for our shops, Content's still important. Of course, it's very important, but the kind of content we're shifting from, we're doing the same importance on the text content because Google's still going to read web pages. It's a computer, but we're really focusing on video content. So we're doing a lot of video work that is totally outside the box that other companies do because we know that as time keeps progressing, Google's going to favor more and more and more video because that's how we consume information. So DVIs are just a natural extension of how the human brain thinks. We think and dream in pictures and images. So a customer to get a video saying, "Oh, your brake pads are down to 3 millimeters, you should replace them," but they have a video showing the mic with the 3 millimeters. Man, what a difference that makes in the conversion rate of that customer. And like I said, I'm a 15% increase in upsell just with one company. You add that up over a year's time. That's a lot. If you can you just walk us through the technology that's behind Verified AI? How does the video diagnostics tool actually work? So a lot of us are like, what time it is. We don't care how the watch works. But other people are like, they want to know how the watch works. So I was just kind of curious. It's kind of a disruptive thing to come up with a really low cost, low investment DVI platform for the auto repair shop owner. So tell me a little bit about what's behind it. How's it work?
Oh, good, good. Yeah, good question. Our engine is very good. We're using, again, we're powdering, so we're becoming the AI platform and foundation behind it. So the video is the cloud system is based in AWS, so we use Amazon for that. So the cloud is that, and it's fast and conversions and everything. However, our code is what our special secret sauce is. Code is we're using basically our proprietary custom code that we did the app for. And we're using a lot of the power of AI. So we have some strong industry PhDs who hold in AI as our consultants in the app. So they were helping us guide us. So right now it's basically, we made it as simple as possible. It's just a customer records video. So video uploads in the cloud. We have some code that will convert text to speech with AI modifications to remove any unnecessary words that's not relevant to the repair shop talk. So that would also, so the AI would process this text to speech, and then that would be an output in the send to the customer message. And again, everything's stored on AWS, and from there, the AWS cloud is basically what operates all the storage, and then we will be able to send that to the customer. So basically, the mechanic does not have any of their storage, like their hard drive, their phone is not going to be cluttered with all those videos because everything's going on the secure cloud.
Okay. So you started this in Kazakhstan. So, and you brought it here to the US. Any global ambitions? I mean, why not Canada, Mexico, right?
Oh yeah, good question. So we started internationally in Kazakhstan. It showed us perspective that trust is universal, whether in Kazakhstan, US, and Europe. And so yeah, we are working to be a global app. So we're working in Kazakhstan. We're trying to roll it out in Europe. It's interesting you notice Europe because Germany just this year they created in January with their new counselor, they created Ministry of Digitization. So as Germany is another Western country that's always been, very industrial, very forefront. However, they're a little bit behind of the latest IT stuff and gadgets. So they're still doing a lot of the things on paper book. So another market like that is big Germany because they're also huge in automotive and they're just also transfertizing and digitizing everything. So we're definitely expanding globally, not just US.
Okay, that's great. Now, auto repair has been the same for decades. There's been some changes in technology, equipment, obviously computers. But do you see Verified AI as setting a new standard for transparency and communication? Like you said, a gold seal for honesty and for the industry. And then, do you have a plan for how to roll that out to where the consumer and the shop understands how DVIs work. It's the consumer that has to understand the value to them by getting a video verification of the repairs that the shop is requesting for their car, right?
Yeah, no, good question. I think that becoming a standard seal, there's going to be a lot of education to consumer on our behalf. So we want to release more podcasts, more education on the uniform inspection communication standards behind the motorist org and what it means to really, why is this a trustworthy shop? And then what our icon means, what is that gold standard? And so we want to educate the customer. We want to provide content that will be brochures to inform the consumer about what it means. And so hopefully as we roll out and we provide more information and educational material to consumer, they'll understand that this is just like the restaurant, like the ABCD health standard, health code that they will know.
Okay, that's awesome. Oh, great. Well, I really appreciate your any questions that I haven't asked that maybe I should or
Yeah, I just wanted to share our possible future vision. I think
sure.
that's one
Okay.
thing right now. As what I want to show that the market came up, there's already few players that are doing digital video inspection.
Sure.
Again, the cost is up there. That's still up to debate. However, we're not the only player right now. What I see in the future for us and why our AI framework and foundation is very strong is because all the data, all the shops that we're going to be working with, we want to have AI parse that data, analyze it, and be able to provide consultations and future repair recommendations going forward. So we want to be able to work with mechanic. So for mechanic for actually spend time on fixing the problem versus diagnosing the problem.
Right.
So our future is the convergence of the DVI and the remote diagnostics.
Okay.
And we see ourselves meeting somewhere in between and being and having that position in the market.
So more than just a DVI, it's an informational resource for diagnostics.
Future forward, yeah, going that
Yeah.
we want the AI to recommend the diagnostics process.
And that's how that's how I'm seeing AI is going to change auto repair shop in the future is it's big data. So the companies that are able to get all of the information from the shops. Okay, so customer came in, here was the complaint, we diagnosed it, and here was the problem. You take millions and millions of those and you put them in one data source. That is a very valuable data source for an auto repair shop because it can save them a lot of time in trying to diagnose on their own. So anyway, Bauer, I really appreciate your time today. We look forward to seeing you at future MAP conferences, and I'll get with you later, and I'll go over the trade shows. There's quite a few trade shows that you want to be going to. SEMA's definitely one of them. And anything that just go to the ACA, by the way, Auto Care Association. All of the sub ones are there. You got NWACA, Northwest Auto Care Alliance. You've got MOACA. That's the big one. Both of those are in March. Okay.
No, this is good. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, you want to get to these trade shows. So NWACA is the ATE, Auto Trade Show Expo, Automotive Trade Show Expo.
For additional automotive resources and exclusive content, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our episodes. Thanks again for joining us in the driver's seat, and we'll see you next time for another thrilling episode of Top Shop.